Hi, welcome back. Last time we looked at features and benefits introducing your solution, and you had your task to do to look at your features and then come up with tangible benefits from them. I hope that's gone well. It's a really powerful part of the process. Now we need to just quickly review where we are in our structure. So good sales skills makes anything possible, and where we are at the moment is that we're at that B, which is bring together. But let's just go back on what we've done so far. Preparation, open, so the opening is about taking control and deciding the direction for the call. Stand in their shoes to really understand the customer, understand the value that you can offer them. Summarize to check and make sure that you've got it right, give them the opportunity to correct anything, and then and only then introduce your solution. Now, all of that has been building to this point. Bring together means about now we are going to be looking to try and get a deal here. And that's next step before we get to closing. This is almost always where price will come into it. You don't want price to be raised earlier. If it's raised at the very start, you've got no value to offset it. There's always going to be somebody cheaper than you. So what you need to be able to do in this circumstance is have built the value earlier in the process through standing in their shoes, summarising, introducing your solution, so that you can now protect and defend that price for the value that it really is. So, two key things that you need to think about in terms of a negotiation. You have fixed components and you have variable components. Fixed components you can do nothing about. You can't change them in any way, shape or form. So it might be your location. That's really important, for instance, in the aggregates industry because of deliveries. It might be the size of lorries that you run. It might be a particular aspect of the service that you offer, like customer service is open 8 AM to 6 PM. You can't negotiate around those things. They are fixed. There's nothing you can do. The variable components are exactly that, stuff that you can move in order to try and create a deal. Price is almost always a variable component. And that's why so many salespeople end up discounting, because what they haven't done is built value earlier in the process. A couple of examples of other variable components that I've done with customers recently. The size of an installation team. They can send 4 people to install, means they can do it in a day. They can send 2 people to install, means it takes 2 days, maybe a little bit longer because there's some elements that require them to work a little bit faster if there's 4 people together. Now, what you've got to be careful of in terms of defending your price is making sure that if you give a discount, you get something back for it. Classic example that everybody's aware of. Somebody raised it with me yesterday. Double glazing salesman came round to their house, quoted them 16 grand. Did the classic, I tell you what, if you sign up tonight, I'll ring my boss, I'll get you a discount. They halved the price. It went to 8,000. Didn't ask for anything, nothing else, just literally just offered that discount apart from if you sign up tonight. It's obviously a pressure tactic. Now, that lady was really unimpressed by this. And she said, well, why didn't you start at 8? Then you could have made the call and made it 4. She ended up kicking them out because she felt that if at that stage they're trying to rook her like that, she's not going to trust them all the way through the sales process. The other thing that you need to do at this point, this is when the pressure's on, and as a salesperson you're trying to secure the deal. Sometimes listening skills go out the window. I've done several negotiation role plays, and when I say several, probably several hundred. And always, when I watch people do those role plays, they miss stuff. So think about your fixed and variable components. How much are you allowed to move? And what are those variable components? The other thing that's key is think about your buyers' fixed and variable components. Classic one for construction sites. There's a limited amount of access to the site. So that might be based on time or it might be based on vehicle size. There's no point you asking to deliver at a certain time or not being able to guarantee you'll go within that window if it's a fixed component for them. So consider their fixed and variable components as well. Now, go back to my point about never giving anything away in terms of discount unless you ask for something back. Think about those things and what those value are or cost to the business. The ones that you want to give back to the customer are the ones that are cheap for you but valuable for them. So what you need to be able to do is understand that. Where are you going to get that from? Earlier in the process. Everything has been building to this point. Now, as always, we have a task and action for you to complete over the course of the next week. This week is about your negotiation variables. What are the things that are fixed that you are not allowed to move on in your environment? What are the variables and by how much can you move them? It might also be worthwhile just drawing a little chart. where it says that it's low cost to you, high value to the customer. If you've actually got 2 ticks there, they're the ones you want to start looking at first. So build your list of negotiation variables, and I look forward to seeing you next week.